And hello, and welcome to Things You Might Not Have Heard for the 9th of December. 16 days till Christmas. I got the numbers wrong yesterday. Yesterday was 17. Today is 16 days because 25 minus 9 is 16. There you go. And we are back with you today on this Tuesday morning with 8 stories for the day. Stories that some are good carryovers from Sunday. We'll get to that in a second. But these are stories that are interesting to y'all because you helped us pick this up, and interesting to me. And these are things that are really worth talking about. Yes, there are wars, there are famines, there are so many things out there that are big, bad, ugly, and important, and we cover those as well. We want to also make sure we're doing things that are a bit more into conversation, things that are in your water cooler talk or these days your group chat as well. If you were with us yesterday on the Monday edition, you remember this picture from the Kennedy Center honors happening on Sunday, and we talked about Donald Trump talking about him or around him again. So we just used this picture. Today we're talking about this particularly and him with this one. So we just use the same picture. So you're not in a time warp. I did change the date this time. This 9. So there you go. But we're going to talk about Donald Trump and his Kennedy Center honors, or his Trump Kennedy Center honors, or his, the honors of himself, essentially. We also have other things in the queue to include time with the farm bailout plan, which is going to bail out farmers who are dealing with tariff issues, and they're going to pay for it with tariffs. It sounds like circular firing squad 0 to me. And everybody's moving to Arkansas, or at least Arkansas says everybody's moving to Arkansas. And I'm in Arkansas. And the only place I can find this report being reported about is in Arkansas. So we'll talk about that. Plus, we have 5 other stories in the docket that are conversational, worth chit-chatting about, we think. And you can let me know by engaging with us at our website. This is theconversationproject.com. You can also email us at the conversation inbox at gmail.com and tell me what I got wrong, because I do get things wrong a lot. I mean, I admit it much, but it happens. And we also have our website where you can find more information about how to be a part of the show, how to help us out on feeds. And of course, the really big deal is sponsorships. At least for us. If you go to our sponsorship page or partnership page, you can help us keep the work done, done. Keep us doing work to get done right here. And words to that effect. Prettier words on better days. Today is a great day. It is Tuesday, the 9th day of December. We're wrapping up towards Christmas time in the year. Let's get into the 8 stories we have chosen for today. And we're getting into right off the bat because it's the old news. It's a Sunday story that's rolling into Monday and Tuesday. And it's about Donald Trump, who's boasting of rave reviews for hosting the Kennedy Center honors. And that's before the event was even over. And ironically, before anyone's seen it. Now, what was odd about this? There was a big deal about this. He did the ceremony in the Oval Office on Saturday, where he gave the medals to honorees, and then they had the. Then I thought, wow, when's the program going to be? And then they had the program on Sunday night, and great ratings will come. And I was like, wow, when the program's going to because it took a while for the dawn on me that this is something that they play within the dead time of Christmas time, dead time between right around Christmas, right around New Year's. This is one of those things to do to fill time. You don't have new programming coming on. So rave reviews of the event that has not been shown yet, and great ratings for something that has not been on the air at all. Meanwhile, it was kind of a Trump show. It was a self-reflection point of view and telecast. Trump, who is now the board member, the head of the board of the Kennedy Center, took to the podium to co-host, do a bunch of stuff, talk about things, and talk about personal stories he had with Simone and Kiss and folks like that. But what basically it turned into was a Trump congratulatory show on himself, by himself, to see what happens. No one really has an idea how this will look until December. For a few weeks where they cut this thing up and put it on the air, and we'll see if anybody actually watches it for what's going on. Now, one of the biggest things that's turned into the real discussion, the real phenomenon, if you will, is people who are sort of turning on their childhood heroes, George Strait, Stallone, and Kiss, who are now falling in line with the Trump stuff. When in reality, it's not really that easy. It's not really that simple. If somebody gives you a reward, you take the reward. You just do it. It's just how it goes. So look for clips to do different pieces, and there'll be various Trump clips when you actually are ready to arrive. Mostly him bragging about himself, bragging just again. But it is what it is. And he also has hinted about renaming the Trump Kennedy Center. They'll name it the Trump Auditorium at Kennedy Center, and he's going to put gold up and stuff like that because everything's gold. It's just what it is. Trump is taking the for everything, whether we like it or not, and whether we can undo it is the real question or not. Help is coming in a way of a $12 billion farm bailout plan that will be funded, ironically or coincidentally, I'm not sure which is which, by tariff revenue. Donald Trump says he has a $12 billion farm bailout that's going to be funded by tariff revenue. 11 billion is one-time payments targeting crop producers and folks that are losing out from what's going on. Now, what's really the problem is tariff issues is what's making our soybeans mostly, but most of our grain, most of our commodities cost that much more, and the big buyers just flat out buy all the time, like China. They're now buying from other places. This announcement actually doubles down on the 28 or 26 farm state messages that tariffs are populist tax policy, and they'll pay for themselves. The tariffs will pay for the farm bill package here, which has caused the issue for farmers needing a package here. It's just the tariffs. I think I've said that 3 times because that's how tariffs work. Meantime, volatility and commodity prices going up and down, mostly up, not enough down. That's been an issue. Uh, so it's a numbers game. It's simple. The tariffs cause things to go up. The farmers can't sell as much crops as they can because the prices are up, and we're getting a little bill to go fix it. And the money to fix that bill is not coming out of our coffers that are just in our reserves. It's coming from the revenue we're making off the tariffs, which she can't seem to understand. It's why we can't sell stuff in the first place. We can argue this one all day long, but I'm right, unfortunately. I'm kind of actually right. Economists and how the policy actually works is right. And just because Donald Trump speaks into the air doesn't make it fact by any means. Let's talk about Eurovision. I'm not sure why. Well, I'm sure why because it's popular. It's a big story. Got a lot of attention. I'm not in big into the Eurovision, but guess what? It's going to have some turmoil. It's going to have some scandal. It's going to have some intrigue that may make it a bit more interesting for this year. As it's coming up with 4 countries saying they're not a part of this. They're not hanging out with this one. They're not going to be in it because of Israel being a part of the participation. Broadcasters in Ireland, Spain, Slovenia, and Netherlands say they are going to sit out this year after Israel was cleared to compete in the competition for 2026. Withdrawals reframes the song contest as a geopolitical referendum, not just a TV spectacle. What happens is it's like American Idol, but on country levels, where the countries send a couple of bands, a couple of singers, a couple of folks who built out the best songs they got and win a prize, be the biggest hit nation slash artist off of the Eurovision Championships. Hosts say the show's going to go on minus these 4, but budgets and optics will take a hit because these are 4 major countries with lots of cash who will contribute to the spectacle. We're going to see what happens going forward. Now, if you're a big fan of European style pop music in general, or the spectacle that is Eurovision, you're going to be tuning into this thing anyway to see what happens. If you're into just geopolitical politics and see how Israel can mess something else up, you're going to be tuning into this one as well. For folks, this is something we always cover as we get to the winner, and there's something that is controversial or something that is interesting. We put it, but just like the beauty contest, we talk about it when we have the winner, like, oh, this person's won. This year, like this universe got to be a big spectacle because of what happened there. So it turns into a bigger story that's more interesting, other than just a piece of noted history. This one, we shall see. I'm betting against it being that big a deal, but we'll see how my bet works. The Louvre workers are announcing a strike over conditions and security concerns following the $202 million heist that happened months ago. The unions at the Louvre voted to strike, citing staffing, safety, and infrastructure strain after the 88 million euro, about $102 million, Royal Jewel heist weeks back. Workers also object to a ticket hike for non-EU visitors, like what we're doing here for national parks, arguing it adds pressure without fixing any fundamentals. Although Trump says making other folks pay for self would be better, the French, apparently, the workers at the Louvre say it's not going to work so well. rolling closures, may shutter some down at a bit for negotiation stalling. Service times will be out of the wazoo. It's going to be odd. It's going to be crazy. So if you're planning your dream vacation around Christmas or New Year or early in the year, you may be dealing with some troubled waters. Now, one of the really big issues, the story that we thought we were going to cover today, was flooding at the Louvre. It's massive flooding from infrastructure issues, such as people that are striking. It's causing damage to the building, causing damage to some various artifacts, and is freaking people out immensely. There's a lot of things going wrong in Paris right now, at the Louvre particularly, and it is what it is. What are we going to do about it? Probably not visit the Louvre anytime soon. 4 stories down, 4 stories to go, and today we're actually doing fairly good on time, even with the big ramble about the Trump stuff. So let's keep it going and make this pivot. I need your help. We need your help. We want to keep on growing steadily through the Christmas season and keep on growing through next year. We'll put next year's goals out there. Probably just shoot for something like another 1,500 subscribers, or something like that, because we are. Hopefully, we can get something big. But we just need you to do a couple things. Like the videos that you're watching so that I know I'm doing good with the content. And the algorithms will believe that you are looking at good content, so they should show it to more people. That will help us grow. Share with like-minded people so that they can enjoy it or hate watch it, if you will, and they hopefully will share it and engage in it as well. If you're not getting me natively into your feeds, whether it's on Facebook, on X, or on the YouTubes, I need you to subscribe. If you want to find us on TikTok and get the hot takes, wait for those, that's fine as well. Subscribe to our newsletter and just get the words and the stories, not all this. Oh, not all this. That's there as well. Like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow our News Nerd Nation around the globe. This isn't global. This is Texas. But Texas politics actually has a way of affecting all of us. And here's what's happening here in the great state of Texas. Former Representative Colin Allred is actually going to drop his race, his set to run for Texas Senate. He's going to drop that bill and go to a newly redrawn Texas 33 House seat because Texas is redrawing its seats, citing the risk of bruising Democratic primary. Why is that? Because Jasmine Crockett, your representative from Texas, has officially filed and announced she's running for the Senate in Texas. That was rumors, innuendo, and speculation. It is now DUN done. She is running, so that means everyone else is getting out of her way. She's going to be unopposed on the Democratic side, but it's still a lot of work to get done. Allred says that party unity is what's important, avoiding any runoff conflicts, things going on there to make sure the strongest candidate is there. And as for Crockett, he thinks a pretty strong candidate, so he's going to go back to the Texas House. Now, what's going to be really interesting is Crockett has to actually face another person to win the seat, which is owned by John Cornyn at the moment. John Cornyn, actually is going to deal with some runoff issues. He's got to deal with primaries versus Ken Paxton and Wes Hunt. We're going to see how this plays out. It will see a big deal because Paxton has big plans, goals for his dreams of running the world, I guess, running Texas as it is. We shall see how they can play this. Now, one of the biggest issues that's going to be on the docket for Texas is redistricting that they can't do much about other than try to win those seats and play those things. It also leaves Crockett's seat currently open. So she's not running for one of the weird things that happens when you run for vice president or president is if you're already a senator or a House member, you're on the ballot for your own seat anyway. So you can win it and then they fill it with someone else. Crockett's not running for her House seat. She's running for the Senate, period. So that seat is now open. We'll see who wants to step up to get that one and how they can fill that going forward, especially with redistricting and all the weirdness that's happening down in Texas. Let's talk about some other weirdness. Paramount is launching a hostile bid. They're paying $30 a share, offering $30 a share for Warner Brothers Discovery to block Netflix's advantage. Netflix's advantage is that Netflix has had an agreement with WBD to go ahead and get bought out, or pieces of it, if you will. More of the movie stuff and the streaming stuff. They don't care about CNN and some of the TV stuff. They just want packages that go along with films. Okay? And because it's now an existential crisis for the movie theaters, because Netflix doesn't really show up for theaters, Paramount is fighting back. Now, Paramount's fighting back mostly because Paramount and all these people are really rich folks who have a lot of money and a lot of ego. This big $108.4 billion bid, which is a $30 per share cash, is going out there to overtake Netflix's $72 billion asset bid. So money, as the head of Paramount Skydance says, is king, and more money should win this one out. Now, there's synergies, there's mix-ups, there's layoffs, there's more cash, less cash. There's a lot of talking going into this billion-dollar deal, multi-billion-dollar deal to make multi-billion-dollar deals. Say that one more time to all that to make these things go the way they are going to go. You could say that it's a bunch of egos. You can say it's a bunch of nonsense. You can say that Warner Brothers Discovery really does need cash, which it does, and needs something to happen for the future of television and TVs and movies. We're not sure where it's going yet, but we do know the fight is not over. So prepare to watch more fighting to come, more fighting to come, more fighting to come. Story out of Arkansas, which seems to be only out of Arkansas, or actually it's coming from Atlas Van Lines. It's the 2025 migration pattern. It is from a company who does these things to sell stuff. The, I've worked in worked in broadcasting, so you make these lists and people sponsor them. You make these things and you get yourself out there and put your name out there. So if you're moving, Atlas Van Lines, which we're not plugging per se, but we're talking about them because they made this survey, is out there. And they may get you wherever you want to go. But apparently everyone seems to be wanting to go to Arkansas because their numbers say inbound moves are 68% versus outbound moves are 32%. What that means is the gravitational pull of one Sarah Huckabee Sanders is sucking people into this very, very red state, and no one can seem to escape it. And it is what it is. Affordability and taxes are essentially a hook for us here, with inbound momentum being built basically since 2021. So there's a lot of good things going here for Arkansas. It really is. It's a fairly cheap place to live if you are a person with a good chunk of money. If you're just a regular sort of resident of Arkansas, finding them jobs are still as hard as everybody else. The metro plans are okay. Little Rock's a little nuts, but if you live in some place like Fayetteville or Bentonville up north, where all the Walmart money is, Rogers as well, they're putting a lot of money into infrastructures and fun things to do. They're also putting a lot of money into schools. Schools, as our school issue is a total nightmare mess. But if you have the money and go to a private school, trust me, they're there as well. And universities, universities are top notch. You want to go to the University of Arkansas to have a good education, stellar. Want to go to many schools across the University of Arkansas system, awesome. Want to watch Arkansas play football? I feel for you, but that is what it is. Now, remember, this is done by United Van Lines, which is why I had a hard time trying to find out, any other people covering the story. The only people that look good in this one is Arkansas United Van Lines, so they're going to hype themselves, obviously. So it's a pitch sponsor for a story that got pitched to various websites, various news agencies here in Arkansas, and they took it because it's all plus one for Arkansas. We'll see what you think about it, and if you can afford. Where do you think is a state that more people should be moving to or are moving to as opposed to them moving out of? As numbers say, about twice as many people are coming into the state as leaving the state, which is good for us as a state. Sarah Huckabee Sanders notwithstanding. And if you win this big jackpot prize, it'd be nice if you came here and hung out in Little Rock and spend some money on our purchase page to help us work out as well. Because the Powerball jackpot is now at $930 million after nobody won. Oh, last night ahead of the Wednesday drawing, it's up to 930. Monday's numbers were 8, 32, 52, 56, 64, and the Powerball was 23. One ticket in Florida got 1 million with 5 white balls. Good for you. You can come to Arkansas as well. This is the 40th rollover since the last win on September 6th, keeping the traffic high and odds explainers going forward. Big pool buyouts going on. Now, here's the thing: 40 draws since September, and it's only December. What's making these things make more money or gather more moss, if you will, is they're drawing for them more often. Powerball and the Mega both raised their dollar amounts for their little bids. They're also doing more pulls and they're offering more money in the guarantee from it. So, the lottery math is how it works. In Arkansas, it's called the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, and they all fall under those. those landmarks. So what it means is the bulk of the cash, the surplus money we earn on this goes to scholarships for basically any Arkansas kid. They can go, they get a chunk of money. They say, "I'm here, give me the money." It works like that. We don't see too many big Powerball or Mega Millions or other type of lottery winners here. It is the odds, the chance of winning pretty bad. Someone is going to win. It's not going to be I or you probably. But if you do, there's some nice houses here in our neighborhood, and we're building back from the tornado lots that are ready to be built on as you want to. Basically build your own dream home right here in Little Rock, Arkansas. Come to Walnut Valley. Our pool will be fixed in the summer. We promise. Meantime, let's talk about the news. If any of those stories seem a little suspect to you, then I'm okay with that. But I can tell you they're not. And you can check yourself by using Ground News. Use our affiliate link. This is the conversationproject.com/ground news. This is conversationproject.com/ground news. And you can get great news coverage on everything, like literally everything. What does it do? What do it do, Ground News? Ground News is simple. It gives you aggregated news sources from all the sources out there. It tells you exactly who, what, where, when, and why of the source, and then gives you their stories so you can get more details on what's going on. If you feel like the stories are a bit suspect or they're really pushing an agenda, because they all push an agenda, you can kind of figure out by who owns the place, who's working for the place, and what type of stories they do, and what type of headlines they actually put out there. Sometimes the headline makes the difference. Yes, clickbaity stuff is really still working these days, and it's really fine. If you pay up and you can get 40% off the Advantage plan by using our affiliate link, this is conversationproject.com. You can get more greater, awesomer details and features, such as the blind spot feature. So every couple of days, you can go and look and see what stories are being overly covered by certain political views. Rude people, and rip whatever they want you to see. You see all the things they're showing way too much of. Whatever they don't want you to see, you can see things that they're not showing you much of. It is a great way to actually get some real balance into your news coverage. If you're looking for that, if you're not looking for that, and looking for someone to just, confirm what you're thinking, Brown News can do that as well. What you're looking for. Local, state, and national and international style stories, all over the place, aggregated by them to tell you exactly what they're talking about, all the details at Crown News. So check out using our affiliate link. Get 40% off their plans, including their Advantage plan, at this conversationproject.com/Crown News. Visit us at our website, thisconversationproject.com. Visit us at our email address, conversationinbox@gmail.com. We can chat anything you want to, things that I've messed up, things that I'm doing good at. Good at being great. Messed ups are okay. And you can also go to the website and inquire. Well, email me and inquire. Go to the website and inquire about our origin story, things like our other places to be. Places you can follow us as well, partnerships and sponsorships, things like that. The feeds are links on Facebook and X, facebook.com/project, x.com/th_conversation. And what we do there is we post news articles, links to news articles every 50 minutes or so for you to engage in and hopefully tell us what stories you want us to talk about by engaging in the story links there. Meanwhile, engage with the story at the comments section for the videos. That's where the real fun begins. I'm thinking so much about us, the U.S. here, and what's going on. And there is some biases in what's going on, and we don't agree on the things, but we're having conversations, chatting back and forth in the conversations, in the comments, which is great. We're not getting too ugly lately, although that Bonnie Blue story is getting a little dirty really quick. We're gonna let that go for just a minute. Like I said, that was on y'all. Y'all want to talk about it. That's what she's here. Meanwhile, we are done talking for this Tuesday, December the 9th, 2025, and math correct, it will be 16 days till Christmas Day. Hopefully you're enjoying us here at the Conversation Project and enjoying your time right now. This has been a wild ride of a year, and we've got 16, 17, 18, 19 days left, 2 more weeks left, 3 more weeks left or so to roll through it, and then to see whatever 2026 will get us into, whatever dumpster fire that's expected to be. So we shall overcome, we shall see, we shall survive. Looks like I actually will probably do a broadcast for tomorrow. Maybe Thursday morning that gets some people. I'll be recovering from a bit of surgery I'm having tomorrow. The surgery's not till later in the morning, so I can get up and maybe drink half a cup of coffee and make it work. We shall see. Let me know if you want to see this thing on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Let me know if you see some other types of deals. We are giving you the short takes versions of things you might have heard coming out right about 4:30 ish. Basically, enough time. That's when I'm in my transition stage of getting all the details in there and preparing for the broadcast. So there's a quick 16-second or so AI voice generated video that's just the clips, just the lines, so you can see what's going on. No links to what's going on. Go back to our website and see those things. Obviously. So that gives you a wedding as well. Also, the newsletter, which will come out in about 15-20 minutes after I'm done things up here. And some more hot takes. We got a take coming up, and we'll do about Mike Tyson fighting somebody else, which is a very bad idea. He's going to do it in Africa. I guess he's got some Ali vibes going on, and some other things that are just a little too weird, a little off the rack. We'll see what's going on. Apparently, Southerners are coming down south to go to college and SEC schools because of sorority talk, yes, antebellum stuff, making America great again. We'll go into details when we get to the take. It's there. But stick around with us for things all day long. Hot takes, of course, stuff here, and your conversations, which drives what we do every day. If you want to help us in partnership or with sponsorship, or in being joining up in the channel, your contributions on the cash side means less to do on the other side to pay the bills and pay this thing. So that's your pledge drive for the day. Right now, let's wrap it up. Love you. We're out of here. We will see 50-50 for Wednesday, but we're going to give you more news regardless.